I would like to thank one of my subscribers, Tanaka B, for this story on the black farmers. They have a lawsuit against the U.S. government for $5 billion for their failure to keep their promise to black farmers and constantly excluding them. Whenever these stimulus packages come out, they're excluded. So I'm glad they're digging in for the fight and look like they hired Ben Crump this time around to represent them. I'm going to go ahead and play this video and I'll be right back.
Well, America's farmers are as much a symbol of our country as the stars and stripes, and arguably just as important. They put food on our tables, clothes on our backs. But for black farmers, the road has been rough, leading to the loss of millions of acres of farmland and a lack of trust. And now one of the very symbols of America, now in a fight with the federal government.
We're quietly, one by one, losing our farms.
It's a problem facing tens of thousands of struggling black farmers in America.
We were 1 million black farmers, family strong in this country, tilling 20 million acres of land. And today we're down to 50,000 black farmers. So we're facing extinction.
John Boyd Jr. is the founder and president of the National Black Farmers Association. He says more than a century of admitted racism within the U.S. Department of Agriculture, including refusing to process loans from farmers of color and foreclosing more quickly on minority farmers, resulted in the loss of roughly 15 million acres of land, worth an estimated $300 billion. The result, a $5 billion lawsuit against the federal government to honor its promise to make it right.
Many black farmers were even deterred from applying for assistance at USDA. I personally had my loan torn up and tossed in a trash can right in front of me. I've been spat on by the person who's supposed to be lending me money, and I've been called racial epithets, like it was commonplace. From the lending officer at USDA.
And the U.S. government admitted wrongdoing. In 2021, Congress approved $5 billion in debt relief for thousands of farmers of color. The money was included in the $1.9 trillion COVID-19 stimulus package, the American Rescue Plan Act. But before the money could be paid out, white farmers in several different states filed lawsuits, arguing the program violated their rights, calling it reverse discrimination, and prompting judges to halt the program. One of those farmers, Texas Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller, who called the debt relief unconstitutional.
It was racist. It was based on skin color, not on need or economically disadvantaged. Look, I'm for minority farmers getting help if they need it. But this gave help whether they needed it or not. And it's excluded all the other races, which is just, it's just plain racist.
Look at the history of the USDA debt relief offered to white farmers. Look at what the Trump administration offered to subsidies and direct debt relief and administration of money to white farmers in the last 4 years. And you look at less than 1% went to black farmers. Now, is that not racism? Why is it only when black people are going to get benefits from the government do we call it racism?
Civil rights attorney Ben Crump is fighting back on behalf of Boyd and 3 other plaintiffs, filing a class action lawsuit against the federal government, saying it broke a binding contract to pay 16,000 farmers of color $4 billion in debt relief, money allocated to wipe out 100% of debt with the USDA and an additional 20% to pay off the taxes owed. But that money was never paid.
We hope to bind the federal government to their promise that was made contractually with the black farmers. We hope to make up for 40 acres and a mule that were denied to black farmers and black soldiers and black people over 150 years ago.
So that lawsuit is pending in the U.S. Court of Federal Claims. Meanwhile, the USDA says litigation likely would have continued for years if they had not changed the laws, leading Congress to amend the bill to include all farmers in distress. That proposal allocates more than $3 billion to USDA-backed loans and $2 billion to farmers who the agency discriminated against.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I heard about that years ago where this government allowed USDA employees to call these black farmers the N word. I had heard about that years ago. And I'm glad he spoke about that and how they'll just sit there and tear up a black farmer's application. Just on that alone, reparations are definitely due. We have so many examples, it's not even funny. But see, what's going on now is the Biden's administration's fault. And it started when Joe Biden put Tom Vilsack back over the USDA, who screwed these black farmers over the entire time he was there for Obama. And they told Joe Biden, don't put Tom Vilsack back in there because Tom is another culprit that allowed these government employees to do these black farmers wrong. You know, so you put the same person in there that was problematic before. But see, as long as the wrong is being done to us, that's a good person in his eyes. Joe Biden didn't see nothing wrong with him. And see, Joe Biden should be vilified for even picking Tom Vilsack in the first place. I knew this was going to lead to nothing but a problem as soon as I heard he was going back in the same position that he was in when he screwed these farmers over 8 years ago. So, this is where it stands. They are suing again, this time for $5 billion. And as far as the white farmers have gotten nothing but perks the entire time. Y'all really think about this. Many of the people that owned the plantations and that land was passed down to many of these white farmers that you see out here today. Many of these white farmers come from families that got reparations from the government when slavery was over. But they got the nerve, as soon as you hear black farmers, they got the nerve to jump up and throw some lawsuit out there. But see, this is the stuff that America allows. You can't expect to be looked at in a good light until you fix all of this mess. And we can tell you're not about to fix nothing. It is very obvious and apparent. Everything has been a struggle for black farmers in this country. Everything. And everything is freely given to white farmers in America. And you heard even during the pandemic, the black farmers only received 1% from that stimulus package that Joe Biden put through. And when Donald Trump was in there, he didn't do a thing for these black farmers. He didn't lift a finger for them. So this is where we are, back to another lawsuit because this government continues to not do right by these black farmers. And at this point, this is intentional. We know it. And we know it's always going to be intentional. But we'll see where this lawsuit goes now that Ben Crump is involved. We'll see where it goes. You know, Do I have my doubts? Absolutely, because of the track record of what we have seen all this time. I definitely have my doubts. But y'all, please tell me what you think about this video. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.